Hey there guys, it is CWanless here, and leave in the comments what you think about the new green screen background with the screen just there. So I'm going to have some highlights playing on the screen that's just there, and just leave your comments and your opinions on it. I might continue with this format, I might just go back to the old format where I have my setup in the background, but the green screen's doing a pretty decent job, I think, and I might continue if you guys do like it. So let's get right into the analysis of the match, or my opinions on the match, should I say. So it was 2-1 to Chelsea, which I did think was deserved, if I'm honest. In my opinion, it was a more entertaining game than the 4-2 demolition of Tottenham that we delivered to them in the FA Cup, because it was a more competitive game, and generally the more competitive games are the more enjoyable ones to watch, because, well, it's more competitive. First of all, Marcos Alonso's free kick was absolutely insane. You should have seen Vertonghen. It was either Vertonghen or Alderweireld. When it went over the head, they just put the head back and it just watched it go over. It was a perfect free kick from Marcos Alonso. I think it would have been more suited to David Luiz than Marcos Alonso, but Marcos Alonso made the most of it and it got us a goal, and it was an amazing free kick. Then we had a couple of altercations. Harry Kane went down in the box, arguably a penalty. Then we missed this was before the goal actually. Morata missed a header, which probably should have gone in. He probably should have scored that. Then Conte brings off Morata for Batshuayi. I said when Batshuayi came on, for God's sake, we should have left Morata on, because Morata's just amazing at heading. And talking of heading, and Michy Batshuayi, now on to the second goal. So the second goal we conceded because of Michy Batshuayi and his lack of ability at heading. The ball was whipped in by Eriksson. I think it was Bakayoko that gave away the foul. He was just trying to do his job. Obviously you are going to end up giving away fouls as a CDM. Michy Batshuayi just gets his head on it, tries to put it out of play, he just does fail, and it goes into the back of the net. Courtois had no chance of stopping it, unfortunately. These things are going to happen, we just need to get over them, really. But I was kicking myself, honestly. And then it comes to the end, nearing the end of the game, where up into Tottenham's half, yeah, in the box, Michy Batshuayi goes down under a challenge from either Alderweireld or Vertonghen. I literally yell, penalty, however. No penalty was given, and thankfully no penalty was given actually, because then Lloris gets it, throws it out to Wanyama. Wanyama gets tackled by David Luiz, who was doing an insane job as a centre midfielder, and then we end up running down the left. Marcos Alonso passes it to Pedro back to Marcos Alonso, and Marcos Alonso just slots it underneath the keeper with an amazing goal. Lloris arguably could have done better, he could have used his feet to save it, but he didn't, and we ended up with an amazing goal from Marcos Alonso. Now onto the actual team. In goal, Courtois obviously is better than Willy Caballero, which is our only other option, since Begovic has now gone to Bournemouth. Now all we have is, in defence, is Rudiger. Christensen, who I think did an amazing job. Actually, I was thinking, why the hell is he playing Christensen? Christensen actually did amazing. We had Azpilicueta as a centre back. We had obviously Victor Moses back as a right wing back, and Marcos Alonso as a left wing back. In midfield, I think we should stick with this midfield. We had David Luiz playing as a CDM, we had Bakayoko playing, and we had Kante playing. I think they make an amazing midfield. If I'm being entirely honest, I think we should play David Luiz as a midfielder this season. Then we had Willian playing a kind of centre-attacking mid role. He wasn't really playing a striker. And then we had Morata, who's really playing a lone striker role. So he's shown he's probably better when there's two players up there, or he's got supporting wingers on either side. But he did decently in that lone striker role. So I guess we were kind of playing it 3-5-1-1 formation. I would probably say we should play a 5-3-2. I would say maybe play Pedro as a right wing back, because he played as a right wing back in a game, I think it was in the FA Cup, and he actually did really well as a right wing back. So I think we should play Pedro there. Obviously he's got the attacking abilities, so just play him as a right wing back. I think we should keep Max Alonso as a left wing back. Stop going for Alexandro. Just keep with Max Alonso, because he's actually doing an amazing job. And in defence, obviously we should have Cahill as Piliqueta, and I genuinely think we should have Christensen, because he kept Kane in his back pocket for the whole game. Kane had loads of shots, but they were all off target, because Christensen was doing his job, stopping him from getting shots on target. I think we should keep Rudiger, but keep him as a kind of benched player. Like, so if David Luiz gets injured, David Luiz is playing the midfield. In the idea that I've come up with, if Azpilicueta gets injured, if Christensen gets injured, if Cahill gets injured, or if any of them get red cards, or even if Moses or Alonso or Pedro, if we're playing him at right wing back, get injured, play him there. He can play all the way across the back line. He's proven that while he was playing for Roma, and he did play really well in the right wing back role last season for Roma, and that's why Conte brought him in, because he knows he can play everywhere across the back line. So I think we should just keep him as a substitute if push comes to shove and we need to play him if someone's suspended or if someone's injured. David Luiz actually played insane in the centre midfield role. He was up and down and up and down. That was one of his downfalls as a centre back in a back four, because you need 4 players there while you're defending. In the back 5, you can have the 4 players there, and David Luiz can be going up and down the pitch, up and down the pitch. And he's also got his ability of the amazing distribution of someone like Fabregas. If David Luiz gets injured, just bring in Fabregas in that role. Fabregas has the amazing distribution, and obviously Kante can just act as 2 defensive midfield players. And also Bakayoko, I do think now after watching Bakayoko play, he brings more to the team than Matic, and he was injured. He was injured and he was still bringing the amount of contribution. Oh, I'm not even sure if that's the right terminology to use, but he was bringing loads and loads to the attacking play of Chelsea. He was making those 30, 40, 50 yard runs that Matic just can't make. Matic would just stick a ball over the top, hope to get an attack going. But Bakayoko can start the attack, he can start the run. He can do that. However, Matic can't. Matic is more of a defensive player. So David Luiz will be the player getting the ball and then distributing the ball to our front 3. So we wouldn't really need someone like Fabregas or someone like Matic. But Fabregas would be a good backup if any of our centre midfielders get injured. Now, the wing backs, we really do need to strengthen on the right. As I said, we probably want Pedro there, if I'm being entirely honest, because of the attacking presence that he does bring to the team. And on the left, Max Alonso's attacking and defensive abilities are amazing, so we don't really need to upgrade that position. Azpilicueta as a centre-back is actually a lot better than I would have expected him to play in the centre-back role. Really, we don't want to play Batshuayi as our favoured first-choice striker. We probably want to get Morata in there, and obviously either play Hazard behind him as a central attacking midfielder or up front with him as a striker, unless Conte just wants to revert to a really attacking option, a literal back 3, and don't even use wing backs, just use left and right midfielders. In that case, we'd probably be best off with going with Pedro and Hazard as our left and right midfielders, which obviously wouldn't be the best defensively, but attacking, that would be amazing. But I do think Hazard will play quite well with Morata up front. That's my opinions on the team. Spurs team actually was quite a strong team. I would say Spurs do have the advantage over Chelsea. They were favourites going into the match, following Chelsea's 3-2 bashing by Burnley. How Chelsea lost against Burnley, I don't really know. I think people were just getting frustrated. I think Fabregas really would play better if he had 2 other central midfielders with him, but he only had 1 in that game, I do believe. I think he only had Kante with him because Bakayoko wasn't fit. Or, come to think of it, we could play Fabregas in the midfield instead of David Luiz, and play David Luiz in the back 3 in the centre of the back 3 instead of Christensen. I think that would work quite well, because then we'd have the distribution from defence and the distribution from midfield with Fabregas. But they're just my opinions, guys. Feel free to leave your comments down below. Don't forget to comment about the new green screen setup, and especially with the TV just there, and I'm going to put some highlights on that in editing. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, please do comment, rate and subscribe. I've been CWanless, and I'm signing out.